Today I'm going to talk about args and kwargs, or keyword arguments. You can use them to pass any number of arguments or keyword arguments to a function. Kwargs are for passing dictionary key value pairs and args are for everything else. Okay, so here's an example of a simple function. Okay, so if I run that, I'll get 11. The easy way to pass multiple arguments to a function is to pass a list or tuple of values and loop through them. Okay, so we get 21. Okay, so what this does is it takes the list, it passes the list into the mySum function, it loops through every item in the list, adds them together, and then returns the result. So a better way to do this would be to use args instead of integers. Okay, and as you can see, we get the same result. It passes all these numbers individually or together as a tuple, and then it unpacks the tuple. This asterisk is the unpacking operator. It unpacks them, and then it loops through them one at a time, adds them together, and returns a result. And I can add some more numbers on there, and it'll just keep adding them together. Okay, so let's have a look what would happen if I had to pass a list in here instead of the numbers loosely defined like that. Let's copy that list, let's put it in here instead. Okay, you'd get an error. Okay, so this would then fail. The way to actually pass a list is to use the unpacking operator and unpack it first. By doing that, then it'll run. Because it takes the list, it unpacks it, passes it into args, and then you get the result. Okay, now let's do a dictionary. Okay, so there you can see it takes the values, the keyword arguments, passes them into the kwargs value. It uses the dictionary values to get the actual values and not the keys. If you did not put in values there, it would actually display the keys like so, A, B, C, D. Okay, so you must use dot values. The order of parameters passed to a function matters. So when you are mixing standard arguments with args and kwargs, then the order of how they are passed into the function matters. So let me show you an example. Okay, so here is a simple function definition. Okay, and the order of the arguments are standard arguments come first, then args, then kwargs, or keyword arguments. Okay, so that is important. So what else can we use unpacking operators for? Well, we can use them to display a list of numbers without all the commas and square brackets. Okay, so there you can see the first print prints it as a list with all the commas in between and the square brackets. And this one unpacks them first. So this one unpacks it first with it nicely formatted without the commas and square brackets. Okay, so another use for unpacking is to send a defined list of values to a function. Let me show you an example of what I mean. Okay, so the first try fails because we're passing a list. Okay, and the list goes into the first argument. Okay, and there is nothing for the other arguments. As you can see, it says it's missing two positional arguments. Okay, so the way to do this correctly is to unpack the list first. Okay, so now it takes each one, unpacks it, and puts it in each positional argument. Another use for the unpacking operator is to send lists to args. Now, as you've seen before, this would fail, okay, because it can't send a list like that. You have to unpack it first, okay. But what you can also do is send multiple lists by unpacking them, and then it'll unpack all of them into this args, do the maths, and return the result. Okay, so it's very flexible of how many arguments you can keep sending. Okay, so another cool usage of unpacking is splitting a list. Okay, so you can see it put the first value of the list into A, put the last value into C, and it took everything in between and put it into B. Okay, so now I think the best usage for the unpacking operator is merging lists and dictionaries. Okay, so there it merges two lists into one. You can do the same with the dictionary. Okay, so there's the dictionary merged together. Okay, you can also use unpacking to split a string into a list of characters. So it produces a list with all the individual characters. You can achieve the same thing by using the list function. Okay, you get the same result. And then if you just wanted to unpack it, you could do that also. Get the characters separated with a space. Right, guys, that's it for today's tutorial on Args and Kwargs and the unpacking operator. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Have a great day. Cheers.